Welcome back to our deep dive series. Today, we're tackling Law 14, Pose as a Friend, Work as a Spy from the 48 Laws of Power.
Right. A fascinating one.
Our mission really is to explore how strategic information gathering, how it can give you a real advantage, helping you gain what the book calls foreknowledge,
Hmm.
which is basically critical insight into others, letting you anticipate things, prepare.
Yeah.
And all our points today, they come straight from chapter 14 of the book itself. Some really illuminating excerpts there.
And this law, it really gets to a core idea, doesn't it? That knowing your rival, or frankly, anyone you deal with regularly, is just critical. I
Absolutely.
mean, think about how often people hide things. Their real thoughts, emotions, plans, weaknesses,
Yeah.
even ulterior motives.
Right. It makes predicting what they'll do next really, really hard.
Exactly. So this whole art of spying thing, it's not necessarily about, trench coats and hidden cameras.
Well,
It's more about finding clever ways to probe,
mhm.
to uncover those hidden intentions, but crucially, without tipping your own hand.
Okay, so if getting that valuable info keeps you ahead, like the law says,
Yeah.
how do people who master this actually operate?
Well,
What are maybe the subtler ways? Because the book suggests it's actually far better to be the spy yourself.
that's the key point. Yeah, while you could use external spies, the source really pushes this idea of doing it yourself,
Mhm.
posing as a friend, all while, quietly gathering intel.
Hmm.
And it might sound a bit dramatic, like something from a movie.
Yeah, it does a bit.
But the book shows it's, well, maybe not easy, but certainly achievable.
So let's get into a really great example. The art dealer, Joseph Devine, legendary figure.
Oh, Duveen, yes.
He basically cornered the market for millionaire art collectors in America, from like 1904 to 1940?
That's right, a huge span of time. And he aimed for the notoriously difficult industrialist Andrew Mellon.
The impossible target, right. Everyone thought Mellon was unreachable.
Exactly. But Duveen, his approach was just meticulous. He tracked Mellon for years, learned everything,
Yeah.
habits, tastes, even specific phobias.
Phobias, why?
Yeah. But the real clincher, he secretly put several of Mellon's own staff on his payroll.
No way.
Oh, yeah. To worm valuable information out of them, as the book puts it. So by the time Duveen made his move, he apparently knew Mellon about as well as Mellon's wife did.
That's incredible dedication. Or spying.
Both, probably. So, picture this. 1921, Mellon's in London. Duveen books the suite right below him at Claridge's. Gets his valet to befriend Mellon's valet.
Okay, very calculated.
Totally. So on the day Duveen's valet gets the heads up, Mellon's putting on his coat, heading for the lift. Duveen then just happens to be there.
Coincidentally?
Right. Quote unquote coincidentally.
Positions himself perfectly to meet Mellon, suggests they go to the National Gallery together, which the book calls the one location that would ensure his success.
Why there specifically?
Because Duveen knew Mellon's tastes inside out. Once there, he just dazzled the magnate with his knowledge, making it seem like, wow, they just clicked. Remarkably similar tastes.
And the result? Well, Mellon was apparently charmed. Completely surprised by this guy. He visits Duveen's gallery back in New York, falls in love with the collection. Everything seems perfectly suited to him. And he became Duveen's best and most generous client for life.
Wow. So what's the big takeaway there from all that meticulous work?
It's that Duveen left absolutely nothing to chance. He had this quote, something like, "What's the point of winging it? Hoping you charm a client. It's like shooting ducks blindfolded. Arm yourself with a little knowledge," he said, "and your aim improves." His artful spying made him seem almost, well, clairvoyant to his rivals.
Yeah, I bet.
They couldn't figure out how he did it, so they were discouraged. It shows how that deep preparation, built on tiny details, creates this massive advantage, makes success look easy, almost magical.
Okay. So that's the, millionaire industrialist level. How do we sort of play the spy yourself in more normal situations without hiring staff?
Right. Good question. That brings us to the techniques of, let's call it, self-spying. Think about the French politician Talleyrand. Apparently, he had this amazing knack for worming secrets out of people in polite conversation.
How did he do that?
Well, someone who knew him described his art of concealing his thoughts beneath a transparent veil of insinuations. He basically downplayed his own personality.
Made himself less noticeable.
Exactly. So others would just talk endlessly about themselves and, without realizing it, reveal their plans, their intentions. It was all about listening, prompting gently.
That is incredibly subtle. Does the book warn about any risks with that? Or, how do you avoid seeming manipulative?
Yeah, it stresses the artfulness. It's a fine line. And it gets even more specific. Like, if you suspect someone's lying,
Yes.
the advice is to look as though you believed every word. Let them dig themselves deeper. They'll often become more vehement and trip themselves up.
Okay. And if you think they're holding back, only telling part of the truth.
Then you do the opposite. Look as though you did not believe him. Your doubt, your opposition can provoke him into leading out his reserve of truth. They want to convince you.
Wow.
That's it.
That's a very calculated way to have a conversation, isn't it?
It really is. Talleyrand even used social settings. He'd organize friendly games of charades for
Yep.
diplomats just to get them relaxed, talking, cajoling confidences.
Shades. Seriously.
Apparently so. And at the Congress of Vienna, get this, he'd sometimes just blurt out what seemed to be a secret, but it was totally made up,
A fake secret. Why?
to see who reacted, like suggesting the Russian Tsar was about to arrest some general for treason.
Yeah.
Just throw it out there. Someone watching him said, Monsieur Talleyrand fires a pistol into the air to see who will jump out the window.
That's brilliant. And the advantage is people might just see your interest as genuine friendship, right? So you learn things and potentially make allies.
Exactly. But, and this is a big but, you have to be so careful. Practice this with caution and care. If people even suspect you're worming secrets out of them, they'll shut down, avoid you completely.
So it needs to feel like friendly chatter.
Absolutely. Not like an interrogation. Your probing can't be obvious at all, or you blow your own cover. Defeats the whole purpose.
Okay. So beyond listening and observing, are there even more indirect ways? Especially for figuring out someone's character, their loyalty, not just facts.
Yes, and this gets into deeper assessment. One technique linked to La Rochefoucauld is the false confession.
False confession.
Yeah. He wrote something like, sincerity is found in very few men and is often the cleverest of ruses. The idea is you act sincere, pretend to share a secret or a vulnerability
Okay.
in order to draw out the confidence and secrets of the other. You offer a fake confession, basically, hoping they'll give you a real one in return.
Playing on reciprocity.
Exactly. Another method, this one from Schopenhauer, was actually to vehemently contradict people you're talking to.
Contradict them. That sounds aggressive.
It does. The idea was to irritate them, stir them up emotionally, so they reveal things in anger or frustration they normally wouldn't.
Okay, that one seems pretty confrontational, maybe risky. Are there less provocative ways to test character?
Definitely. Look at King Chosroes II of Persia back in the 7th century. He was known for setting these clever loyalty tests, these traps.
Like what?
Okay, so he might tell courtier A that courtier B is a traitor about to be killed. Swear courtier A to secrecy, then just watch them both.
What was he looking for?
If courtier A kept the secret, meaning courtier B acted normally around the king, then A got promoted, the king would later explain it was just a test.
Okay, but if the secret got out...
If courtier B started acting weird, avoiding the king, Chosroes knew the secret was out. Courtier B got banned for breaking trust. And courtier A, the one who leaked the secret, banned from the entire kingdom.
Harsh. But effective, I guess. It does seem like a strange kind of spying, though. It reveals character, not, battle plans or business secrets.
True. But the book argues that often, this is the best way, solving problems before they even start.
Ah, I see.
By testing people, tempting them, you learn about their loyalty, their honesty, their discretion. And that knowledge about predicting future actions is often the most valuable kind. It's fundamental for planning.
Right. Which leads to the flip side, doesn't it? If information is so powerful, you have to assume others might be trying to spy on you.
Absolutely. It's definitely a two-way street. You need defenses.
So what's the countermove?
Well, one of the most powerful weapons is actually giving out false information, disinformation.
Ah, planting bad intel.
Exactly. Winston Churchill had that great quote, "Truth is so precious that she should always be attended by a bodyguard of lies."
Protect the truth.
You have to surround your real intentions, your real information, with this bodyguard. Make it hard to penetrate. And if you can actively plant your version of information, you gain huge control.
Is there an example of this?
A really striking one is the Nazi V-1 rocket attacks on London in 1944. Those bombs, they kept missing their main targets, like Tower Bridge or Piccadilly.
Yeah, why?
They kept falling short, landing in less populated areas further out,
Oh.
because the Germans were relying on targeting info from their secret agents in England.
Okay.
But the catch was, British intelligence had already found and turned these agents.
So they were double agents.
Exactly. Feeding Berlin subtly deceptive information, making them think the bombs were overshooting, when they were actually falling short.
So the Germans kept adjusting their aim incorrectly.
Precisely. The bombs landed farther and farther from their targets every time they fell, eventually hitting, as the book dryly notes, cows in the country.
Wow. So the power of disinformation, while spying gives you that third eye, disinformation basically puts out one of your enemy's eyes, makes them a cyclops, always missing the target.
That's a great way to put it. It really underlines Sun Tzu's point in The Art of War. He said the reason wise generals conquer is foreknowledge.
Right, that word again.
And he was clear. This foreknowledge, you don't get it from spirits or gods, no magic involved. It must be obtained from men who know the enemy situation, from spies.
Well, this has been a really illuminating deep dive into this whole art, subtle and maybe not so subtle, of gathering information, shaping perceptions, from Duveen's incredible groundwork to Talleyrand's conversational tricks, even using disinformation. The common thread is just the immense power that comes from knowing about others.
It really highlights how understanding what's going on beneath the surface, people's real intentions, their soft spots, their loyalties, it can fundamentally change how you navigate the world, how you predict what's coming.
Seeing deeper.
Exactly. Seeing deeper into them, getting past just the surface level.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening to chew on. In this age where we all share so much information online, often willingly, how does that change this whole idea of spying?
Good question.
What does it mean for really understanding others, or even being understood ourselves, when there's this flood of public data, but it's often, carefully curated? What kind of foreknowledge are we maybe unintentionally giving away about ourselves?